Your mind is a battlefield, 1,000 thoughts, 1,000,000 possibilities. You replay conversations from years ago. You anticipate disasters that will never come, and you cannot seem to stop the endless loop. The Prophet, peace be upon him, understood that the mind is like a garden. If you do not tend to it, the weeds will take over, and he prescribed a remedy for the overthinking mind. A simple, comprehensive protocol that modern psychology is only now beginning to understand. The hadith on seeking refuge from al-ham, distress about the future, and al-hazan, grief over the past, addresses the two core components of overthinking. Stay for number 1, the cure for the overthinking mind. A simple, comprehensive protocol that modern psychology is only now beginning to understand. The hadith on seeking refuge from al-ham, distress about the future, and al-hazan, grief over the past, addresses the two core components of overthinking. Stay for number 1, the cure for the overthinking mind. Before we begin, we have gathered the daily practices of the Beloved, peace be upon him, into one book, the Sunnah Home Manual, 40 practices, every hadith verified. Now, let us return to the heart of the believer. Let us learn the prophetic remedy for overthinking. Let us begin with number 1, the comprehensive dua. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught his companions a dua that addresses the root causes of overthinking. He said, "O Allah, I seek refuge in you from anxiety and grief, from incapacity and laziness, from cowardice and miserliness, from the burden of debt and the oppression of men." This dua, known as the comprehensive refuge, addresses the two core components of anxiety, worry about the future and grief over the past. It also addresses the paralysis that often accompanies stress, incapacity, and laziness. It addresses the fear that drives anxiety, cowardice, and miserliness. And it addresses the tangible burdens that cause stress, debt, and oppression. The scholars explain that this dua is a complete protocol for the overthinking mind. It acknowledges the sources of stress and places them in the hands of Allah. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, teaching his companions this dua. He knows that they are overthinking. He knows that they are anxious, and he gives them the words that will bring them peace. That is the Sunnah. Number 2, the distress supplication. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught his companions a specific dua for times of distress. He said, "There is no God but Allah, the most great, the most forbearing. There is no God but Allah, the Lord of the mighty throne. There is no God but Allah, the Lord of the heavens, the Lord of the noble throne." This dua is a declaration of Tawheed. It affirms Allah's power and mercy. It reminds the believer that Allah is in control. The scholars explain that this dua is a powerful tool for stress relief. It shifts the focus from the problem to the source of all solutions. It reminds the believer that Allah is the most great, the most forbearing. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a moment of extreme distress. He recites this dua. He affirms his faith. He trusts in Allah, and his mind is at peace. That is the Sunnah. Number 3, prayer as a refuge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would turn to prayer when he was distressed. He said, "O Bilal, give us comfort with the prayer." This is a profound statement. He did not say, "Give us comfort with sleep." He did not say, "Give us comfort with food." He said, "Give us comfort with the prayer." The scholars explain that the prayer is a source of peace. It is a moment of connection with Allah. It is a time to disconnect from the world. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would stand in prayer, recite the Quran, and find peace. The companions also understood this. They would turn to prayer when they were overthinking. They would find comfort in the sujud. They would find peace in the recitation. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a moment of stress. He turns to prayer. He stands before Allah. He pours out his heart, and he finds peace. That is the Sunnah. Now, let me pause here and ask you something. And I want you to be honest. When you are overthinking, what do you do? Do you turn to the dua? Do you turn to the prayer? The Prophet, peace be upon him, turned to Allah. He sought refuge. He found peace. So I want you to look at your coping mechanisms. Are you turning to the Sunnah? Drop a comment below. Tell me which dua you are going to start reciting. because the Prophet did not prescribe these for no reason. He prescribed them for your peace, your faith, and your connection to Allah. Number 4. The power of patience and submission. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that patience is a light. He said, "And whoever remains patient, Allah will make him patient. No one is given a gift better than patience." The scholars explain that patience is not passive, it is active. It is the ability to endure, to persist, to maintain hope in the face of adversity. The Prophet also taught that submission to Allah's decree is a source of peace. He said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer. All of it is good. If he is granted ease, he is grateful, and that is good for him. And if he is tested with hardship, he is patient, and that is good for him." This is a profound perspective. The believer's response to stress is gratitude and patience, and both are sources of good. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a moment of stress. He is patient, he is submissive, he trusts Allah, and he finds peace. Number 5. The remembrance that heals. The Quran declares, "Surely in the remembrance of Allah hearts can find comfort." This is a comprehensive promise. It is not a suggestion. It is a certainty. The scholars explain that the heart is like a vessel. It is filled with anxiety, worry, and stress. And the only thing that can fill it with peace is the remembrance of Allah. Dhikr is not just a ritual. It is a spiritual mindfulness practice that has therapeutic value. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also said, "The prayer is the comfort of my eyes." This is a profound statement. Prayer is not just a ritual, it is a source of comfort. It is a moment of connection with Allah. It is a time to disconnect from the world. Imagine the Prophet, peace be upon him, in a moment of distress. He turns to prayer. He finds comfort. He finds peace. That is the Sunnah. For 1400 years, this wisdom has been passed from the Prophet, peace be upon him, to his companions, to the families of Medina, who found peace in the remembrance of Allah, to the scholars who preserved the teachings of the Prophet. Now, science is catching up. It is confirming what we already knew in our hearts. The dua that removes stress, the prayer that calms the mind, the remembrance that brings comfort, the patience that builds resilience. They are not just spiritual ideals. They are the prophetic protocol for stopping overthinking. But let me be absolutely clear. The cures Allah has placed in His creation are not miracles, and they do not replace your doctor's care. They are the means He has given through the Sunnah, and they are blessings. If you are experiencing severe anxiety, please consult a qualified professional. The prophetic practices are not a rejection of modern psychology. They are a complement to it. They are the foundation upon which we build our mental health, trusting in Allah while taking the means He has provided. Now, if you want to explore this further, I urge you to watch our video on the prophetic du'as for anxiety and depression, the complete guide to supplications in times of hardship. The modern research on the neuroscience of prayer and mental health will astonish you. May Allah grant you and your family complete shifa. May He remove your anxiety and grief. May He replace them with joy. And may He unite you all in the gardens of paradise. Assalamu alaikum.